All right. It's about 12:40. God, it's about 12:40. My flight was delayed. I made it to Houston. I remember how we talked about getting a lot of sleep? It's not going to happen tonight. This week we're going to talk about what tips and tricks do I have for effective written communication. So I'm going to get some sleep and we're going to get this week going. Shall we? First advice on writing is be professional, particularly in emails. Remember that email is not text. And we're going to talk about why it's important to be concise, but most importantly, be professional in your email correspondence. There's our Houston office. Whoa, it's tall. Somebody put a bathtub in the middle of the room. Weird. Change of plans. All right, let's move over here. We're expecting snow in DC tomorrow, 6 to 8 inches. And if you've watched the Doug McConey vlog, we all know that New Yorkers know how to panic about a snowstorm unlike any others. I've got a client meeting on Thursday in Chicago that I'm leading, and I can't get stuck in New York. So what I've decided to do is I'm canceling my New York trip. Instead, I'm staying in Houston for the night, and then I've got an early morning flight back to Chicago. Next writing tip, be concise. I see a lot of people in their writing wanting to use a lot of verbiage, a lot of words, a lot of descriptors. Nobody wants to read extra words. So be concise. When you're editing and you're reviewing, actually ask yourself, are these words necessary? People, including myself, tend to overuse transition words first, last, in conclusion, however, thereafter, therefore. You don't use those words when you speak. You don't need to use those words when you write. Because I'm sticking around Houston tonight, we have a very special treat for the Doug McConey vlog. And I'm not even going to tell you what it is. Let's just... All right, so we're at the rodeo. David Parrish is back.
Hey, Doug Nation.
This ain't his first rodeo.
No, sir. We're gonna get Doug some boots.
I need boots and a hat.
No chaps.
No chaps. No chaps. Josh DeMarco. All right, what an amazing experience at the Houston Rodeo. You know, honestly, as a vegetarian, I am somewhat conflicted about the experience, but you know, it was certainly entertaining, and I think that was my first country music concert with Jason Aldean ever. So, you know, it's, a good cultural experience. Next writing tip. Use a dictionary and a thesaurus, right? Using new words, looking to expand your vocabulary, making sure that you find the right words is critical to any written communication. All right, I'm going to get on my flight. Let's do this. Middle seat, not good. It's Thursday morning. I made it back to Chicago yesterday. No issues getting from Houston. New York got bombed with snow. Turned out to be a good move to avoid New York. I wouldn't have made it back here to Chicago. Next lesson on writing. What is the next lesson on writing? Don't be overly technical. Avoid legalese. Assume that your reader, and I don't care who it is, I mean, it does depend who it is, but if in doubt, assume your reader doesn't know the definition of a term. And so use common terms, because you don't want to sound condescending, but you don't want to make your reader, number one, feel stupid, and then number two, if the reader doesn't understand what words you're using, you're not going to be able to convey your message. All right, I got to head to my client meeting. In the Chicago office today, had a client meeting. Next writing tip: avoid using the passive voice. And we see this a lot in technical writing and in professional writing. You don't want the subject of your sentence acted on by the verb. So for example, baseball analogy, the pitch was being hit by the batter. The batter hit the pitch. The way I try to avoid the passive voice when I'm writing is to look for words like was and being, because those will often indicate you've been using the passive voice.
Back in O'Hare, heading to St. Louis to see my girls.
Last important tip for writing, and this is something that I'm not as good at as I should be, but you need to be an excellent proofreader. Have somebody else proofread your work. I did this a lot, particularly early in my career. I would ask one of my fellow associates or seniors or somebody, hey, can you take a quick look at this? Hey, if I print this out, can you just give it a quick review? I still do that. I'll have my managers, directors, even my other partners, just have somebody else take a quick look at it, and you're gonna end up with a better work product. If there are other how-to videos that you're interested in, let me know. I kind of like doing some of the writing and sharing some of my tricks and tips that I've learned along the way. So thanks for tuning in this week. If you like what you're seeing, mash that like button, subscribe, comment. Stay tuned next week for another exciting edition of the Doug McCody Vlog.